In terms of AUKUS, that might well depend on, according to the coalition, defence spending. Now, you're saying increase spending to more than 3%. Is it incumbent on you to say what you'd cut, though? Because anyone can say increase spending. What spending would you reduce to make that happen?
And Tom, we will do that. I mean, we took to the last election, as you know, we took a commitment that we'd increase defence spending to GDP to 2.5% by the next 5 years and 3% over the next 10 years. And as a responsible opposition, we will give that data, certainly again before the next election. But what we also need to do, this is where the physical meeting's important, Tom. You know, the US is saying we should spend this. The Australian government may well spend, well, we think we should spend less than that. But the important thing we need to sell to the Americans and remind the Americans is we are making a huge commitment through AUKUS of buying infrastructure from them. So a lot of our defence spending is going directly to benefit some of their industries because we're getting access to world-leading technology. But again, those conversations have to be leader to leader, not behind ambassadors, not behind officials, but that's the type of way that Trump deals. And our Prime Minister needs to get in front of him to make that case. Okay, so on the spending element though, again, as I say, it's easy to say, here's what we'll spend. Anyone can say that. Do you realise the ease of that versus saying, here's what, you know, here are some cuts you can make, here's where we're spending too much money? Because, I mean, I think what easier said as well on defence projects, if you just say, here's an increase, that money won't be spent well. That's a fair enough point, isn't it? It's about projects rather than here's some extra money. Look, absolutely. And again, when we go, and as we did in the last election, into the next election, Tom, we'll have a very well articulated where we want to lob our defence spending. But, you know, there needs to be efficiencies into defence. It has to be, you know, a sovereign capability, and we need to make sure that we have good defence and money well spent within our country. So, but again, you know, when we're talking levels, we can have, you know, an aim domestically. They may well differ from what the US want. But again, to make that case, this is where the person-to-person relationship's important, and this is where we put the story, because we're paying a lot of money to the Americans and the US as part of the AUKUS agreement because we're getting world-leading defence technology from them. So it's a holistic discussion that needs to happen.
All right. Kevin Hogan, appreciate your time. I must say, where you are, I was almost... Maybe you just pronounce it for me. I always get these ones wrong, but it's you're doing your bit for local tourism. All this rain down in Sydney, it looks beautiful.
No, well, Gorga Beach behind me, Tom. Come up for a holiday. You guys get paid a lot of money. 20 degrees in the water net right now. Whoopi Beach voted this year the best mainland beach in Australia, mate.
Woolgoolga Beach looks lovely. All right, I'll put it on the to-do list. Kevin Hogan, appreciate your time. Thank you.